Welcome back to Rutland Water. We're now back at Yellowstone. This is the place that I fished on opening day. I haven't been back here for about 3 weeks. The conditions are almost identical to opening day. There's a northeasterly wind, which makes fishing this point absolutely perfect. I'm going to start using the tactics that I used last time, which was a washing line and a couple of buzzers just beneath the surface. And then I'll just try a number of different techniques to see what works best. Thanks to you all for coming back and watching this video. I hope that you either like it or even better, hit the subscribe button and come along for more fishy fun, fly fishing on Rutland Water. It's really handy with these Polaroids, I can see the drop-off quite clearly. But the fish are actually further out, they're not sitting over the drop-off, they're sitting out there in the deeper water. The thing I love about fishing the washing line on the surface is if you get a tug, you know it's a fish because you're nowhere near the bottom. So anything that grabs the line has to be fishy. Ah, there we go. I was absolutely right that those movements in the surface film were fish. This is quite a nice one as well. Another one of those flying fish. So, yeah, again, you know, I'm very impatient, but well, this is really going. Now that looked quite nice. I'm wondering if I've got my first overwintered fish. That would be lovely if it was. And I wonder what fly it's on. That's the bit I always hate, is not knowing which fly. This is running like a larger fish. There's a certain feeling you have when it's a larger fish. And this might be one, or it could just be a stocky, but it's playing like a large fish. It's going on long, powerful runs, and it's got quite a weight to it. I think this may be I'd love to have an overwintered fish to show you, because I haven't had one. Oh, this is fighting like a big fish, or an overwintered fish. I don't think it's a massive fish. It's not a double figure fish, probably not even over 5 pounds, but it's a nice, I don't know what it's on, which is rather annoying, and it's not ready to come in yet. This one feels like it's got more in it. It's on one of the buzzers again. So although I've put that big ugly fly on the point, this fly has taken one of the buzzers. So the static buzzer is working yet again. I can see the buoyant fly, it's splishing around. I think it's taken the top buzzer again, so they're really at the surface of the water. Move the camera down a little bit so you can see the fish in the water. There we go. I don't think it's not huge. It's not big, but it's done a good job. Right, let's get this one in. That was a fabulous fight. Come on, I'm going to let you go. Right. That was brilliant fun. It's not a massive fish either, and it's not overwintered. There it is in the net. It's actually not bad. That's probably around the £3, £3.5 mark. Yeah, about three and a half. So it's a stocky because the tail looks a little bit ragged. There's no silver in here, but we'll get it back straight away. There we go. There it goes. Oh, that's fabulous. Almost identical to the tactics I used 3 weeks ago. So you start to get a feel for that certain tactics work under certain conditions at particular times of the year. So this year, because it's been a warmer spring, it's been predominantly buzzers, which is, again, great fun. I've not had anything on lures. Normally I have to fish the odd lure, but not so far. This is absolutely the best fishing you can possibly have. So those slight differences in the surface of the water movement that I've been seeing have been fish swimming up the current, and they're feeding as they go, but they're not breaking the surface. I also wonder if that fluorescent booby is actually helping attract the fish. We'll soon find out. Now, usually when it's like this, you normally get more. But now there's another bit of movement under the surface, just down there. I'm convinced there are fish in this area. I'm letting the fly drift naturally for a few yards, and then when it reaches the end of the drift, I'm bringing it in with a gentle figure of 8. Sometimes the fish will follow the fly in and take quite close to the bank. Absolutely lovely morning. I would just hope we get another fish, because these are nice conditions to film, and this is really giving you a good view of what it's really like to fish Yellowstone under probably the best conditions you can get for this particular spot. So I would really like to get another fish for you. That's exactly the kind of cast that I wanted. The line's going straight out, following the current, which means the drift will be very, very natural. It's a funny year, this. I'm catching fish consistently. I think I've only blanked once, but I'm not catching lots of fish. I'm having to work really hard for them. And part of me wonders, is it just because the conditions are so atypical for April? I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, it's fabulous fun. If you have to work for the fish, you feel you've earned them more. Again, that was another really nice cast, straight out along the ripple. It looks incredibly fishy today, but one take and one fish only. And again, I see another bit of movement in the ripple there. I guess it might just be that I'm really relying on fish coming past this point. They may not be sitting here permanently, they may just be moving from literally upwind from the bottom of the south arm all the way up the reservoir, effectively following the wind lanes. That's it. Excellent. Now I changed the fly there. Has that been because I changed the fly, or I have no idea. Again, really far out. That fish was a decent distance out in the water when it took. As my net's miles away. That's better. See, it must, that slight change in depth must have made all the difference. I fished all the way along here, and all I've done is change the point of fly, and all that's done is change the depth in which I'm fishing. Now that fish is taking the point fly. So I've literally just put that fly on and the fish is taking it straight away. I mean, that's amazing. So I could have just stuck with buzzers. Because that's what worked early on, but I didn't. I kept on changing the tactics because, as I've said many times, that's how you catch fish in Rutland water. Don't assume that what worked 10 minutes ago will work now. So that's taken the Nemo. Which is one of my absolute favourite flies. This fish is giving a good account of itself. Ooh. This may be a nice fish actually. It doesn't want to come in. Or it doesn't want to come where I am. Come on. Into the net. Oh, that was a mess. There we go. That has taken the Nemo. I've literally just put that fly on, and first cast with that new fly, the fish is taken. Actually, no, it's not a Nemo, I'm lying. It's the good old cormorant. Talking absolute nonsense. I changed my mind at the last minute and put the cormorant on, and it's taken it first time. That's the first fish on a cormorant for about 5 years. Ah, the cormorant's come out in the net. It's another quite nice fish, so let's get this one back straight away. There we go. That's it gone. Now for that fish, I actually was retrieving. Not fast, just quite slowly, probably a figure of 8. Maybe slightly more, but that fish really came after it. So it just shows you the importance of changing tactics. If I had just stuck with the same fly that I'd caught the fish on earlier on, I may never have got that one. So this thing about patience being a virtue is not always true. And again, that fish was quite far out. Now, the only fly that hasn't taken a fish has been the middle buzzer. So I may take that off and switch it to a Nemo. And then I'll have 3 different flies on, 2 of which have caught fish, and it would be nice if I then catch a fish on the 3rd fly. It would prove my point about the importance of changing tactics. the buzzer that was on the top is now in the middle. There is now a Nemo on the top dropper, and we have the cormorant on the point. So, change your fly, change your luck. The fly line I'm using is a Witchwood. It's a rocket taper, and it's a fabulous line. It's got a very, very short shooting head and long running line, which means you don't have to do too many casts before you throw the line out. Great for places where the back cast is quite difficult. Oh, I'm in. And all I did there was I speeded up the retrieve, believe it or not. I was actually bringing the fly in a little bit faster. And all of a sudden we get another fish, which is tremendous. Is it come off? No, it's still there. This one's a fun one. I felt that one take about 2 or 3 times because I was bringing the fly in a bit faster. It's almost like I had to entice the fish to take. I don't know what it's taken. I suspect it's probably the cormorant. I wouldn't have thought it would have taken the imitative patterns fished that fast. But we've tried all sorts today. But I guess it's proving my point about not having any patience. Now the trouble is when I get 3 I always want to try and get 6. And I don't know whether I'm going to have enough battery left in my camera for that. I'll probably call it quits after this one. It is on the cormorant, so just fishing it that little bit faster made all the difference. Just fishing that line a little bit faster. I think it's just a stocky, but they all count. And look at, oh, come on. I'm going to let you go, so just come in. Beans, lots of them. It's hooked in the mouth. I wondered if I'd maybe caught it in the tail or something, but no, it's hooked in the mouth. And it's on the cormorant. Body cam is all but given up. This one is now showing a red light as well, so I think it's time to call it quits for today. Thanks for coming out fishing with me. I thoroughly enjoyed your company. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to seeing you again for more fly fishing on Rutland water.